Alrighty, YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. The Cowboys have hired a special teams coordinator, and it's Nick Sorensen, former 49ers defensive coordinator. So, when Sorensen was practically fired by Kyle Shanahan following the season, Kyle Shanahan spoke to media regarding the decision and said that he wants to retain Sorensen to some degree, whether he would return to a secondary type of coach. There was also some chatter about them hiring Sorensen as their special teams coordinator. I believe they even interviewed Sorensen for the special teams coordinator position. I could be wrong there, but either way, Kyle Shanahan wanted to keep Sorensen on the staff to some degree. And, it was reported just about a week or two ago that he was unlikely to stay with the 49ers. The 49ers must have told him, Kyle Shanahan in particular, must have told him that they were probably going elsewhere and hiring elsewhere for their special teams coordinator opening. And that's exactly what they did. Obviously, today they hired the longtime Jets special teams coordinator, Brant Boyer, to fill that same role for the Niners. So, and again, that was a Robert Saleh. I mean, Saleh practically brought over Brant Boyer from New York to coach special teams with the 49ers. So, Saleh definitely had a lot of say in that, in Brant Boyer being hired by the Niners as their special teams coordinator. But either way, Sorensen has special teams coordinator experience. He was in Seattle for 8 years and was a special teams coordinator for the Seahawks towards the end of his tenure with the Seahawks, if I can remember right. I thought I read something about that. But he has special teams coordinator experience. He was actually the Jaguars special teams coordinator back in 2021. But he was not retained by the team in February of 22, and then obviously he went to work as a defensive assistant with the Niners, as well as a defensive passing game coordinator and nickel coach for the 2023 season. So, and then obviously, in 24, the Niners eventually promoted him to the defensive coordinator after they fired Steve Wilks. So, interesting hire here by the Dallas Cowboys. I wonder if he has if he knows somebody within that organization, if he has a connection there. That would obviously make sense as to why he got the job with Dallas. Maybe he knows Brian Schottenheimer to some degree. I don't know. I didn't even know Sorensen was interviewing with Dallas. I don't even know if that report really came out regarding an interview that the Cowboys had with Sorensen. But either way, Sorensen officially has left the 49ers, of course. Again, 3 days ago, there was a report that came out that the Niners would not retain Nick Sorensen on their coaching staff. I think this was the best in both interests. I don't think, number one, I mean, Saleh being the defensive, head coach now, the defensive coordinator, I don't think Saleh wanted to retain Sorensen. I think Kyle Shanahan basically said, if you do become our defensive coordinator, we're going to let you hire all your defensive assistants. So I would imagine there's going to be a couple different defensive assistants hired into the 49ers defensive coaching staff. Obviously, one name that one is 100% staying put is Chris Kocurek, the 49ers defensive line coach. He's been here for a very, very long time. He's been here since Saleh was here as the defensive coordinator. So that guy's definitely staying put. He's without a doubt, a top, probably the best defensive line coach in all of football. He had, Kocurek actually had a helping hand in developing Ndamukong Suh and several other, high-powered defensive players on the defensive line. So Kocurek's definitely staying, but again, I would expect there's going to be a couple other coaches going to be hired in by Saleh to work under him as defensive assistants. But either way, again, Nick Sorensen hired by the Dallas Cowboys to be their defensive coordinator. Again, even though he was our defensive coordinator last year, he has special teams experience, again, most recently with the Jaguars in 2021. So good riddance, Nick Sorensen. You will not be missed in San Francisco. I definitely think he is a pretty decent, position coach. However, it was such a bad hire and a bad promotion on the 49ers' part to promote him as their defensive coordinator. It clearly didn't work out. It was actually worse than Steve Wilkes, and that really hurt the 49ers. Sorensen costed us a lot of games. Never switched up coverages, never switched up blitzing packages. He just didn't adapt as he should have. When things weren't working, the 49ers just kind of drained slowly and lost games. He didn't really switch things up. So he might be a good special teams coordinator. I don't know. But that's for the Cowboys to figure out. What the hell are the Cowboys doing, by the way? I mean, Brian Schottenheimer, and now you hire Nick Sorensen. That's not a good look for the Dallas Cowboys. But, however, fine by me. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I can't stand the Cowboys. Hopefully this hurts the Cowboys. And Brian Schottenheimer could be a good head coach. I just don't see it. That's neither here nor there, though. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Sorensen going to Dallas to be their special teams coordinator. As always, go Niners, and I will see you guys in the next one.